What's up, fight fans? This is Counterpunch with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Teddy Atlas and Andy Ruiz. Teddy Atlas has responded to Andy Ruiz and confirmed that he will meet Ruiz in New York in a couple of weeks to see if they're a good match. Of course, this news is obviously huge on a number of fronts. Ruiz famously dropped his trainer, Manny Robles, last month after Ruiz entered his rematch with Anthony Joshua in December and widely out of shape and lost by a wide decision. Okay, that was after Robles engineered one of the biggest upsets in heavyweight history when Ruiz stopped Joshua in 7 rounds back in June. Okay, then there's the idea of Atlas, a strict disciplinarian training Ruiz, who is famously undisciplined and known for cutting corners in his preparation, that has the boxing world on edge to see if the marriage is consummated. Atlas had this to say himself personally. He said, "The first step to actually entertain us doing something is for us to meet," Atlas said. "That means for you to come to New York, that's all. I'm not saying yes just to say yes. There's got to be a process. Or at least for me, there has to be. It's no big deal. I think that's the right way to do it for me and for them." Okay? To hear what my expectations would be and for them to understand that, then for me to even decide if I want to do it, he said, of the process. And then I'd have to make sure it doesn't interfere with my first priority, which is my only fighter, the light heavyweight Alex Grosvik. Okay, so I've actually thought that Teddy Atlas was a guy that did not have anybody he was training, but obviously he does, you know. But again, he's not like Abel Sanchez. He's not like Freddie Roach. He doesn't have a lot of particular competition, a lot of fighters that he's training at the time. So this is typical of Teddy Atlas. It does surprise me that he did say yes, and because he was the first one that criticizes him. But I think Teddy Atlas is a real person, you know, based on his passion of the sport, and he loves the sport and its rawness. And I think someone like Andy Ruiz, if he's serious about resurrecting his boxing career or continuing it, I mean, it wasn't over. It's not over just because he lost. You know, it's not over because of that. It's the way he lost and the excuses that he made because of his loss. I think, you know, a lot of people shunned on that. So what'll end up happening in this situation, the best person to get is a person that doesn't allow you to cut corners, like Andy Ruiz is known for, to be absent at the gym, you know, to do the things that he was accustomed to doing. Obviously, that's why I think he let Robles go, because Robles allowed him to do whatever he wanted to do, you know. But I will say this, Ruiz has to only blame himself. If he wanted to, if he desired Manny Robles to train him in that way, he should have instructed it. It's like this. You ever go on a job, right? A good supervisor that works over you, of course, is going to ask you, a good one, he's going to ask you, what type of management would you prefer? Would you prefer more of a micromanager, someone that's always over your shoulder, telling you to do every little thing and how to do every little thing? Or you prefer someone less of that, someone more passive, someone that would observe what you do and then come to you with notes or whatever after a certain amount of time, versus the opposite, like I explained. Those are how trainers are. But basically, it's up to you as that worker to either tell that person, like, hey, I don't like the way you come at me. I don't like the way you supervise. I don't like a micromanager in my face all the time. I'm capable of doing my work. Let me do my work. You know what I mean? Or, hey, I need you to really let me know what I'm doing wrong in order for me to improve. Okay, and I think Teddy Atlas is more of that aggressive, micromanaging type of trainer versus Robles being that type of trainer that is more passive. That's like, hey, you're your own man. You know, I train you. You pay me to train you, and that's it. I'm not gonna be your daddy. I'm not gonna be anything else. I'm gonna train you as long as you're here. If you're not here, I'm not gonna bug you. You know where to come. You know where to be. That's it. So I think Andy Ruiz wants to lie all of the instructions on the trainer. Because obviously his dad, which is his manager, couldn't do that, right? So, because his dad said he wouldn't listen, he was going out, he was partying with his boys, he was partying too. You mean he was drinking? You know what I mean? Everybody was talking about eating. You gain weight also by drinking, okay? He couldn't do anything else because he'd been popped for it, right? So, you know, yeah. So he wants someone to come in that didn't have control of his career and what he did, right? Like the people that he was under. So I think Teddy Atlas, you know, would want to sit down and talk to him. And here's the thing. If Teddy Atlas didn't think Andy Ruiz was worth it, he wouldn't have even entertained it. You know, of course he counterpunched. He roasted. He blasted Ruiz like a lot of people did. A lot of people, you know, clown Ruiz for coming in that big. For coming in to that point where, dude, you're almost 300 freaking pounds. You're 17 pounds from 300, my boy. Like, what's the deal? You know? You know, comido demasiado, coño. But it's like, I think he's going to Teddy is because he feels Teddy is that guy that's going to make him do something that he doesn't want to do, or else he's out of there. You know what I mean? And it would have been better if Teddy didn't have a guy that he's training. But Teddy is very passive, very passionate, about what he wants to do and what he expects from his fighter. But a trainer can only be so good, okay? A trainer can only be as good as the fighter. So it's up to the fighter to be receptive. Now, that's the million-dollar question. Is Andy Ruiz really about this? You know, is he really about this? Now, if I guess he's really about this up here and right here, I think that's the reason he wanted Teddy Atlas more than anyone else. Because, like I said, those guys, Abel Sanchez, and Freddie Roach, those guys have too much talent. They have too many fighters that they're obligated with. They don't have time to see where the hell is Andy at. He's supposed to be here at 2. It's 2:45. What's going on, right? So those guys don't have time to watch him. I think he wants Teddy Atlas. If he's serious, up here and up here, he wants Teddy Atlas because that Teddy Atlas is going to be that guy. Look, you're supposed to be here at 2. I want you here at 1:45 to show me that you're interested. And I think, honestly, Teddy Atlas is going to put him under like a trial period, a trial run, to see if he's really about this. You know what I mean? He's going to put him in a crash course, you know, in this period of when, hey, this is what I expect. And if you can't do that in this ample amount of time, you don't need to do this at all because I'm not about that life. I'm not about that business, you know? And guys, only time will tell with these two. Because you can even tell when Teddy, you got a guy that's aggressive versus Andy. You could tell Andy's laid back. Teddy, what do you want me to do? I'm ready. I'm ready to do whatever. I mean, I'm a hard worker and I'm fast and I can quickly learn. So whatever, you know. And Teddy, you know, like, Teddy's like, before we get into that, I want you to know I expect nothing less than 110%. If you can't give me 110%, 110%, walk out of the door. That's it. Teddy, I love Teddy, man. But he's like that. You know, so the question is, will opposites attract in this situation? Because if they won't, they won't. But only time will tell. You know, because I think it goes farther than a conversation. And I'll say this because of this reason. Andy is good. Like I said, he has a sweet tongue. He's mellow, okay? He's mellow. So he is like that guy that he can probably tell you what you want to hear, but it's up to him to do the do, okay? So we will see by action, okay? Because I think when they sit down, that won't be enough. I think that trial period, then we'll see if they actually click, connect, right? Consummate, like the article says. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Teddy Atlas considering Andy Ruiz. Do you think these guys will be a good matchup? Tell me yay or nay. Leave your comments below. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.